Welcome to another episode of That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We're coming live to you from the BizLink Center Studios in Duluth, Georgia. I'm Pamela Adams, your host, and I'm so happy to introduce you to today's guest. Dr. Louis Cavallo, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Dr. Cavallo is with AC Spine and Wellness Center. And to give you a little bit of background on Dr. Cavallo, we're going to call him Dr. C. He graduated with honors from Life University in 1990. He's nationally board certified and holds licensure in several southern states. He completed postgraduate certification in radiology and studied extensively in pediatrics and athletic performance, and is one of only 2 certified OTZ frozen shoulder specialties in Georgia. Can't wait to get into that one so we can really understand what that's all about. In 1992, he and his lifelong partner, Dr. Jeanette and I'm going to try it my best, Altieri.
Yep, that's it.
Dr. A, there we go.
Dr. A.
They opened a family wellness center that is dedicated to creating a healthier world naturally. Since then, AC Spine and Wellness has become a busy, multidisciplinary clinic providing people of all ages, especially children, a friendly place where one can feel like they are part of a family.
That's correct.
Great, great, great. So now tell us, after 21 years of a successful practice, you made some major changes, so tell us why.
We did. At about October, November of last year, we decided to change the philosophy of the practice. Up until that point, we were a chiropractic office that leaned toward wellness care.
Okay.
So we were very interested in sports and health and diet and exercise. But what we found over the years is that the public was getting sicker and more toxic because of our food systems. So we chose to change the entire model to encompass chiropractic as the center point, but then to bring in all the functional medicine around it. So we can now rebuild the body not only skeletally and structurally, but also physiologically.
Okay. And and there was one question I was going to ask, because there are so many chiropractic offices that you see everywhere, and so I'm always wondering what's the difference in all of them. So it sounds like you all really found a way to set yourselves apart.
Yeah, we have, and I think we've done that almost since the beginning. We would say there's 2 types of chiropractic offices out there in the public. One that is pain-based, which is really dealing with your pain, so they're seeing you in a very short duration of time, and they're not as concerned with your global wellness. Okay. And then there's the other side of the equation that is more like our facility was and is now. We're extremely concerned with your global wellness. I want you and your family to be well for a lifetime.
Okay.
I don't want you to be well for the next 3 or 4 weeks or out of pain, quote. And so I think that's the big difference for us.
Okay. Now there's a new buzzword, functional medicine.
Yeah, it's the new catchphrase in healthcare.
Okay, so tell us what that's about.
It's what it is in essence is we're looking at how your body functions. And so again, healthcare has become very part driven. And so you notice that when you go to the doctor, everything's part based. Your sinus or your eye or your heart or your liver. Well, what we're trying to do is create functionality. So we want your eyes to work with your heart, to work with your liver, to work with your spleen, to work with your gallbladder. And we do that by creating an environment that allows all of the systems to heal. And we do that by testing the systems individually so we understand how physiologically your body is functioning and what your optimal health is like.
Okay, so then you kind of get that whole balance, so mind, body, spirit, and all that.
Exactly, that's it in a T. Yep,
great,
correct.
Great. So now tell us about the new services that you offer in your Lawrenceville clinic.
Well, we've expanded the facility to offer a tremendous amount of services. We do a tremendous amount of testing for the body, so we do everything from adrenal testing to food testing. We also do injections that are natural for trigger points and muscle problems. We do rehab for the lower spine to rehydrate discs. We do the same thing for the neck to rehydrate disc issues in the cervical spine. For children, we have testing to test metal toxicity levels for ADD and ADHD. We do injections for the weekend athletes, the sports enthusiasts, for their knees and so forth, their shoulders. And every process that we do or every product we use is natural. So we're never really using anything in the body that's toxic or chemical based, so the body can respond and heal with it.
Okay, so all natural cortisone, knee injections.
All natural soup parts, no cortisone.
Soup parts. Okay, okay, so non-cortisone.
No cortisone's ever delivered in our facility.
Okay, okay, wow. And then so soup parts. Now tell me a little bit more about that.
Soup parts is an injection we utilize for the knee. And what it is, it's hyaluronic acid, which is what is a synthetic formula that's created that mimics what's in our knees when we're younger. And unfortunately, as we age and we abuse our knees playing sports and exercising, that fluid per se starts to diminish. So you start to get that little crick in your knee, little pain going up and down the stairs. You don't feel like you're 20 when you're getting out of the chair when you're 40. So what we're able to do is to come back and inject that in a 5-series injections back into the knee, and what that does is it allows the knee to become hydrated again, and it's like putting the fluid back in the joint. And so now when you're going up and down stairs or playing sports, you don't have that pain associated with it.
You're starting to make me think and feel a little bit my age, so. But now I know what to do about it.
That's
right?
correct.
So,
That's
good,
the key
good,
function right
good.
there, is to know what to do.
So now the natural trigger point injections, what really makes that so effective?
What we're doing is we do a 2-part program. So not only do we do the injections, we use a stimulator. It's a Pedibond muscle ligament tendon stimulator, and it's a machine that we are able to utilize on the muscle system itself to break the scar tissue down. And then there's going to be levels that are too deep for the machine to get to, so we use injections for those. And it's real simple. If the muscle's very tight and I'm moving the spine and the muscle's moving it back, then we're just playing that tug-of-war game. And so by going in and releasing the muscle, it allows for the muscle to stabilize itself, allows for the spine to stay where we put it, and then you ultimately heal at a faster pace. The reason we don't use cortisone is research states that cortisone has side effects, and we're trying to get you well. So I don't want to fix one problem and cause a second. So we don't use any of the cortisone in our office. Although it has its place in medicine, it's just not something that we choose to partake in.
Now what is Serapin?
Serapin is a plant extract. It comes from the pitcher plant, and that's what we use in our injections.
Pitcher plant.
Pitcher plant,
I'm learning some new things here.
And it's funny because it's been used in healthcare for the last 70 or 90 years. But it's just, unfortunately, it's not in the mainstay because it's a plant extract, so we can't stamp a high dollar fee to it because it's not pharmaceutical.
Now we hear a lot of terms, of course, in your particular industry. I'm sure a lot of different terms that all of us aren't used to hearing. What do you all do around education for your clients?
Well, the show today is one of the big things that we do. Hopefully this will be a great tool for education. And we try to educate patients in the office from the moment you come through the door. Because our key is the more educated you are, the healthier you'll ultimately be. Because I'm only with you for a short duration of time within your span of life. And so I need you to become the doctor within yourself when you're out of my office. When you go home and deal with your children and your husband or wife, you have to be the one who has the knowledge to dictate and direct, because that ultimately is where your health comes from. It's not the time you spend in my office, it's the education out of my office. That's where you're going to maintain your health. Because if I teach you to be healthy and you go to McDonald's, we just lost our health again.
You all remember
Nothing
that
bad
part
against
of it.
McDonald's, but we're not getting any healthy food there.
And we really do have to learn, especially I think our nation in particular, really how to improve our health and all the ways to do it, and how to do it like you're stating, with the full mind, body, spirit, and putting it all in together, as opposed to going and working with this issue, working with that issue and that issue, but how to make it work together. Great. So now your ad says we're different, come see why. Then we've talked a little bit about how you're different, but tell me what else makes you different. I know I've seen the video of your space. It looks fabulous. So it looks like a great place for your clients to come and really get a lot of different care. But tell us about some other things that make you all different.
A lot of the things that we do in the office are definitely different than the majority of mainstream medicine. So when you come to us, we're testing you from A to Z. So we're looking at every system in your body. We're looking for toxicity levels in your blood. We're looking for foods that are not agreeing with you. And we use one of our patients as a great example. He's 52 or 53 years old. He exercises 5 days a week. He's on my diet that I recommended for him, and yet he's 40 pounds overweight. And that shouldn't be the case. So what we did was we tested him, and we wound up finding that he has a food allergy to certain foods that we would think are great to eat. His was chicken, broccoli, cauliflower, collard greens, things that are very healthy in our society, but for him they were toxic. So we took him off of those food groups, and all of a sudden he's down, we just saw him last week, 54 pounds. Nothing else changed. Same exercise regimen, same lifestyle, just don't eat these foods. We also tested him for his adrenals to see how his body was dealing with stress. And we found his adrenals weren't functioning at optimum, so we were able to balance the adrenals with supplementation, and he's like a new man.
And that's fantastic. And I wouldn't even think about even going to the chiropractor for those type items.
Correct.
And you said you put him on a diet plan that you created. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's why we're so different, because we go so much past pain. Because pain is what brings you to us, unfortunately.
Right.
But then once we get our hands on you, per se, we try to get you well. And unfortunately, not everybody wants to be well. So there's a percentage of patients that don't want what we do. But that's okay. You know, we're not for everybody.
Wow. Well, something I said at the beginning when I was reading your brief bio is that you're one of only 2 certified OTZ frozen shoulder specialists in Metro Atlanta. What is OTZ method?
It's a method a doctor designed and founded in Texas. I think he's just north of Dallas. And what it is when patients have frozen shoulder, they're unable to use their shoulder. So their movements are very, very limited. And it's extremely painful. So these people don't sleep at night because they can't get comfortable. No medication takes the edge off. So their life really starts spiraling out of control. And for 20 years, even myself suffered with treating them because there was just no way to get these folks well. A colleague of mine had introduced me to it, so he's the other one who's certified, and we flew out to Dallas, Texas to become certified, and the results are amazing. And what we found is it isn't the shoulder that's the problem. It's actually up in the brain stem and high up in the neck area of the spine that's causing the problem. And so once we became certified and trained in it, then we started to produce it in the office, and our results are amazing. They are just amazing.
Wow, that is something else. Now, I've already learned so much in this little short span of time. Now, tell us about what other types of testing you may do.
We do the allergy testing for food. We do heavy metal testing. We do neurotransmitters, looking at how your brain functions back and forth. We do hormone profiles. We do your thyroids. We do your standard initial screening for cholesterol. We do oxidative stress testing. We do a panel of stuff. We do so much that I can't even remember it all.
Okay. Well, that's exciting because we already talked about, you're thinking you just go to get adjusted and learn that you can go for so many more things. So you all really have to, stay tuned in and really grab more education and go to your center for that. A little bit on kind of sort of on the education side, you used to do a talk show with Dr. A.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now, what was the name of that program?
Health Talk.
Health Talk. Okay, so it sounds like something that we need to see again.
Yeah, we are trying. Actually, one of my people who run all of this for us, we have her searching right now to find us a location to perform this. We did a half-hour show every week. We did it for about 2 years, and we had a great time doing it, and the public had a great time listening because every week was a different topic, and it was in a very simple format, so we didn't use the terminology that the public didn't understand. We made it pretty much down to earth and simple, and we had a blast doing it, and it's funny, we did it 18 or 19 years ago, and it's funny, we saved them on cassettes, because that's how long ago it was. But it's funny when we go back and listen to them, how young we were, but also the information content was just tremendous. And so we're trying to find that niche again, and now with all the social media, we would think it's easier, but in essence it really isn't. It was easier back then. We could go to a little local radio show and plug it in, and off we went. Where now there's 70 different outlets to try to find your little niche in.
Right, exactly. Well, everyone, for BizLinks TV, we're going to put our bid in because we really want to have this type of show. So you all keep an ear out. Let's see how we do with that. So you all send us some emails of encouragement so that we can maybe get this great show out there on the air. I would definitely love to hear wherever you may land. Watch that particular show.
Sure.
It's great information.
And we'd love to work it out with you guys.
Fantastic. You all heard it.
Yep.
You all heard it. It's recorded.
We're in.
Recorded. So let's close out. Of course, give everyone your contact information, but also just share your mission and your vision for AC Spine and Wellness.
Our mission and vision is to establish a place where you can come to get well, and in an environment that makes you feel like you're at home. We don't want you to feel like a patient in our office. We want you to feel like a family friend. And you're treated that way. And so our goal is to create a healthier world naturally. We have enough toxins and drugs in our marketplace. We don't need any more. And unfortunately, we're ranked, I think, third to last in health as a nation. So we need to up that ante. We need to get healthier. We need our kids off drugs. We need them doing better in school. And so that's our ultimate goal. And so People can tie into us by going to our website.
Okay.
It's a very interactive site, so if you become a member of it, you get access to a tremendous amount of data. Lynn, who runs our website for us, is constantly updating it. So it's www.acspineandwellness.com. And you can also reach us at 770-513-8922. And you can access the doctors almost 24/7 through the website, so you can punch questions in, and we actually respond. It's amazing.
Okay. That is fantastic, everyone. I haven't heard this before from a chiropractic office, because there's so much more. They're AC Spine and Wellness Center. Make sure you reach out to them, and we thank you all so much for joining us. Dr. C, thank you so much for
Thank
the
you
great
for having us.
information. We look forward to having you on again.
Great.
Everyone, I'm Pamela Adams with BizLinks TV, and you're watching That's My Biz.